Well, hi, regular EV Dad John here. Hope you're having a great day. This will start off as a short video, but stay to the end because I want you to meet the guy behind it. So, one of the issues with the ID4, and it's not a big one, but it's something that could be improved upon, is usable space. Not the trunk, that's fantastic. Bigger than a Model Y, I can get my hunting dogs, kids, crap, everything in there. But in the cabin space, you've got the big, we call it the trough. I was cleaning out after Co-Pilot London's most recent adventures, whole shoal of golden fishies in there. But it's not, there's bigger stuff that you know, everyone's got their own preferences. Sunglasses, things like that, you don't want them flying around the cabin. The cup holder, my world, cup holders are for cups, you know, that's where the travel mugs go. So I was really happy when YuriK, I call him Yuri, but anyway, when Yuri reached out to me and said, take a look at my tray. I haven't been asked that too often. So, first of all, no commission, no favors, no nothing. He sent me this. I like it. Let me show you. So, it's a tray. Yeah, that's all it is. It's a tray. It's got a lovely, this particular one's got a lovely lining. This is 3D printed, and inside, and I don't think you can really see it on the camera, but it actually says, designed by YuriK. And there's not a huge amount to show you, so what we're going to do is just put it in the vehicle and show you where it goes and show you how I'm using it. So this couldn't be easier. Yeah, the car's relatively clean for me right now. So you see in the bottom here, it's got some Velcro tabs. And then all we're going to do is put it in, push it down, and that's it. That's it. It doesn't move around. It's pretty good. And if you're ever wondering how I charge stuff, that battery lives in there, and that DJI Osmo lives in there, and that's actually pretty good. And it just makes this space more usable. Because like I said, the trough's great for drinks. That's great for drinks, and yeah, that's a lot of drinks, but you know, we drink a lot of coffee. But I had this on the road trip, the range test, and gotta say, glad it was here. My use case is different because I power the cameras from this instead of using the USB chargers in the car, and I'm impressed. But enough of that. Let me introduce you to Yuri.
Yo, what's up, John?
Ladies and gentlemen, meet Yuri, the designer of and manufacturer of this fantastic storage tray. How are you doing?
Doing just good. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Can't complain. I live in California. You can't. It's the evening, and this is the sun, and I'm British. I mean, life is pretty awesome. Hey, first of all, thanks for saying the storage bin. It's awesome. I'm really impressed, and I'm impressed on many levels. Like my inner geek just loves the fact that you can actually tell that it was 3D printed. You didn't. It's really nicely done, but you can tell that this thing is pretty damn strong. I'm not going to load it up with USB batteries and see how much of a beating it can take, but talk to me about, you know, all of us have identified the issue. The storage is a little bit weak, but you did something about it. So tell me what brought you to this idea and your manufacturing process.
So I've been, driving my vehicle that I got rid of to get into the ID was Toyota Sienna, and that car had too much storage.
I know, right? Hold on, before we go into this. So my father-in-law, I've put a couple of 100,000 miles on Toyota Siennas, which has a pretty amazing turning circle. Now I can't compare them, but what do you reckon? Which has got the tightest turning circle, the Sienna or the ID4?
That's ID4, no doubt.
Isn't it crazy? Because the Sienna
It's
kind of stands out on its own in turning circles, but this is
yeah, in minivan class. Yeah.
minivan class. I like the way you apply a discount. But yeah, no, sorry, you came from having too much storage to not enough. Please.
Yes, and I like to have in this COVID times you have to have like some sanitizer and extra sanitizer and some extra face mask. And you like once you try to put all this stuff into the available stores like a central console, that deep bin and the glove box, it fills in pretty quickly. And after the first excitement faded away from like getting this new car, it's still like blows my mind from time to time. I was like, I started to look for like why is this not more space? And I saw this huge opening, and I thought, okay, well, we can do something about it. For like every human being, we're lazy, and I looked around on the internet um, to see if there's ready-made solution, and I couldn't find one. And then I have 3D printer, and I made few things around the house, quite useful in my at least opinion. And I sat down with the CAD program and spent a few hours, and I came out with what's I call now version 1. You have a version 2, which has slightly improved design. I print it, put it in, and it did miraculously fit because I did measurements before starting doing the design. So, and I made it I think 3 or 4 iterations before I found that fit that we have now.
I gotta say, the fit is the thing because you have mirrored the angles absolutely perfectly. Like my inner ADHD autistic self is like, oh yeah, that's good. That is on point. That is a friend of mine was a carpenter, and they reserved the word nice for a perfect fit. And so on behalf of carpenters, I'm going to say nice. Because it is absolutely on point. It's absolutely phenomenal. And you didn't stop there. You then lined it as well. I got to say, it's a pity that I mean, great for you. I mean, the aftermarket part of the VW ID4 is a little underserved. It's not, we're not at the Tesla level of accessories, but you're making one hell of a start. This is awesome. What's the and you're moving on, because I was looking at your website, which I'm going to tell everybody is at vwsmartaccessory.com. You're now making a sunglasses holder as well.
It's in the prototype stage, and it really requires a slightly different level of finish because you can't see the layer lines in front of your eyes. So with a storage tray, it's it sits on the floor. You barely and rarely look at it, and it's completely like a functional design. With the sunglass holder, it's a total different story. It's just right there in front of your eyes, and it has to look pleasant at least. And I'm still working on the shape, and once I finalize the design, I will be making a silicone mold, and I'll do urethane casting.
Oh wow! This is what's so impressive. You have no fear. This isn't, something tells me this isn't your first time doing things like these. You've done a few things around the house, but you've really bitten the bullet on this.
I'm learning as I go.
Don't tell anyone. Fake it.
I don't tell that anyone, but I learn fast.
No, I can tell that. This is awesome, and I'm going to push back a little bit. The fact that you can see the lines, I'm actually not against that. I had a BMW i3, and I tell you that every time someone went to have a look at it, the first thing I did is say, "Hold on, let me show you this," and I opened the door so you could see the carbon weave around the chassis. I like to see how things are made. I think we're too quick to cover it up and make it look pretty. This thing is strong as hell, though. So I got to ask you, because 3D printing, I've done a little bit of 3D printing. So how long does it take you to print each one of these?
8 hours, 37 minutes.
This is this is very much the starting operation, but it amazes me the strength that you've put into this.
Well, the fact of the matter is, John, if you go thin layers,
Mhm.
so you can print it with a resolution of 0.1 millimeter. Okay, but thinner the layers are, the less strong the product comes out.
Yep.
And in fact, this has a layer thickness of 0.42 millimeter, which is the maximum for the nozzle I'm using, which provides me the most effective speed, look, and the strength at the same time. So it gives you relatively short print time, because if you print with 0.1 resolution, it's going to take like 27 hours to complete one tray. And then, you know, the cost of it will be prohibitive. And the strength won't be, it will be not wobbly, but if it just basically falls off your desk, it may just crack. And with this thing, it's just like, nothing happens.
I'm going to be honest with you. The reason I know that this is really strong is because Copilot London got her hands on it first, and so I can say that this this has been 5-year-old tested. Now, I'm not saying it's like a Euro NC cap test, you know, crash test, but it's not far away. I
can believe that.
Yeah, I can also say that the cat didn't like sitting in it, and the cat didn't have a choice. The cat was placed in it, and the cat wasn't a fan, but it held up to a 5-year-old who thought, "What?" I can't remember what she said it was. Oh, I'm annoyed with myself now. It was very cute. What the hell was it? Anyway, oh, it was a shoe. Oh, it was a snowboard for a few minutes.
Okay,
It's like, oh yeah, it now. Just gonna say, anybody who chooses to buy one of these, neither I nor Yuri recommend you using it as a snowboard. That is
definitely not as a snowboard.
That is out of spec completely.
However, for cats
I'm going on to the domain URL, people, right now, and reserving catsnowboard.com. That's where we're going with this. Hey, let me ask you a quick couple of questions. So how long have you had tell me about your ID4. What do you have?
Oh, I have a Blue First edition.
Good choice.
Famous off-white accents in the interior. I like them, actually. I had a Pro S on the order. I ordered in January, and then I canceled it. Then I go like, no, actually, I think I want it. We test drove one, and then okay, we're gonna order the Pro S because we really like, you know, the massage. And I'm not a big fan of 20-inch wheels per se, but the rest of the stuff, we liked it. And you know, you place an order, then I received a 400 demand from a Volkswagen, and I was like, gave the money, and the itch became stronger. And I started looking around for maybe something's available already. Couple of dealerships, they were just like coming in. I don't know if it's just New England thing, but they just coming in. We have the car in stock, like internet people. You come in. I have a baby. She was like 4 months old. We wait for a salesperson because everyone's busy, COVID, not enough people on the floor and stuff. And then the guy shows up. Oh, that one. Oh, that one's still in the boat. I go like, But you people told me it's here. Yeah, we have a stock number. All right, see you never. Turn around and walked away. And then I had one beautiful dealership. If you live near Fall River, Massachusetts, Volkswagen in Fall River are good people. Internet inquiry, straightforward. I had a quote from a different dealer, leasing numbers over the phone, came in, quick test drive, paperwork, next day pick up with the plates. Very easy.
Dealerships, if you're listening to this, this is the minimum we expect. We don't want much. We just don't want assholery. And I'm looking at you, Santa Cruz Volkswagen, who wanted $5,000 over list, because in your words, it's what the market will take. Tesla is quite honest about when they put their prices up. They can, but they only do it by $1,000. They don't, So I guess that's my question. Why a VW ID4 and not a Model Y?
We try to be objective, but we all subjective to some extent. I have a background in car sales. I started in 2006 in a different country, and I completed it here in 2014. I've had enough, too many hours. So I know how stuff works and know a little bit about cars. Didn't know much about electric cars until I got myself a Prius when the gas was near the $4 a gallon. And then I fell in love. I started reading about, all this carbon stuff and global warming and whatnot. And I really got into it. I had a small child that is grown up, and I have another smaller child that is grown up and will be living on this hot planet when I be long gone. And I asked I started looking, research and stuff, and I kept asking myself, what are gonna say about me when I'm being eaten by worms? What did Daddy do to stop it? Oh, he did nothing. He was the same, stupid idiot driving the V6 car around just with his ass in. What a stupid, dumb dad he was. That was one thing. And another thing was practical financial gain. Like $7,500, then $2,500 cash in Massachusetts is $10,000. And when you start looking at something new, then over a sudden $45,000 car becomes $35,000. I crunched so many numbers. I love Excel. Unfortunately, Massachusetts price of gasoline makes it on an electric car on par with a hybrid of roughly equivalent horsepower. And I had a hybrid already. And it was primarily, I wanted, not like I needed. I had a Sienna, I had a 2004 15 Prius V with 65,000 miles, which is slow. But, it was enough. And then I sold that one when I got into line for ID4. And the itch was strong. And I drove Tesla Model Y. And I didn't like it.
It's a personal thing.
It is.
Like you said, we try to be objective, but there's a subjective element. We're all human. Love the Model Y. Love the Tesla network. Be great when we get, how we get access to it. But the value wasn't there for me. The Y is lovely. I love the look of it. I drove the Model 3 long range. I cannonballed that damn thing to, 3,000 miles in 3 days. I don't think you can do a more hard test drive. And I just found it unemotional. I found it unengaging. It actually, when I used the full self-driving, it made me seasick. So when it came time to actually putting my money down, I was like, no. Does the Tesla do some things better? Absolutely. But the VW is a very functional family vehicle. I mean, that's the amount of crap you've seen in the videos, the amount of crap I can put in that. Dogs, children, furniture, all at the same time. It's semi-agricultural.
Yeah, well, both you and I, we heavily biased towards ID4, but because we have one.
No, I'm not heavily biased. I gave serious consideration to the Ford Mustang because we did get a lot of them being made available in California first because, you know, they need to get the revenue and it's easy to sell them here. And I still have potential regret that I didn't wait for the new Ioniq. Yeah, I saw there was a so this will tell you when we're recording it. I was watching the podcast today this morning on Inside EVs, and they were talking about, you know, side by side with a Tesla Model 3 and an ID4, and I've seen the comparisons, and you know what, the trunk space is there, but I'm not sure the battery is, you know, the charging speed is amazing, don't get me wrong, and it's a real first world problem where you say, all right, do I want to be able to go 235 miles without charging or 200 miles without charging, and then charge up at 126, maybe 150 in the future versus 200 and odd kilowatt hours through 80%. And for me, I'm fairly happy with the decision I've made. This may affect the residuals, but I'm fine with the VW because I can't walk into Walmart and pee that fast and get back out. My bladder and the charging curve are pretty much on the same level at this point. I think now that might not work for a younger man. I remember a young man as I was, I could, you know, I'd shoot it out 1,000 miles an hour and run back to the car. But I'm not in that kind of rush these days. Those days are behind me. Hey, let me just say, and I'm very grateful. Whilst we've been joking about this, and I cannot say enough that how impressed I am with what you've produced. Your website is, and I'm going to just check and read this, vwsmartaccessory.com, and that will be in the description underneath here. And Yuri is very kindly, and I want to make clear this, I am receiving a 0 commission on this. I am receiving 0 monies or anything at all. This discount is purely for you, and you can use a discount EVDAD20, that's EVDAD20, for a 20% discount. That is valid through, until when, my friend? Till the end of the year?
We can keep it till the end of the year.
It's very kind of you. So if you've got an idea, I'm going to tell you how I'm using this, because you talked about the storage space. So when I'm shooting and this is a weird use case, because I don't think, by the way, but the next set of videos I'm producing, everyone will see a slight upgrade because we're moving to 3 cameras. We've gone nuts. Where is it? I just had it a second ago. Camera number 3 just arrived. So we're going to 3 cameras, and to run this, I have to have some USB batteries that can keep the cameras going, because those 2 otherwise I end up with cables coming all the way from the back, from the USB chargers for the back seat coming forward. Well, now I need a 3rd one. And so this is where the battery is going to be located that holds all of these. So I have a 1500 milliamp hour battery, which I trickle charge from one of the back chargers, which is interesting. And that actually, I found that I'll run for it was running for 20 hours on a recent trip with 2 cameras. I don't think it'll change because it still had charge in it. And so that's what I'm going to be keeping in here. You may want to keep something else in here, like Yuri says, sanitizer, tissues, and any other manner of stuff. But let me close out by telling people that you're a godless heathen, and I love you because of it. I got to tell them the phrase and it was my mistake because I think correctly. Yuri said to me, we were talking about the design online and chatting about this, and he said every manufacturer leaves holes for aftermarket stuff. To which I remarked, well, that's an interesting view on God and women. I'm not a good person, and that's And that's why you can watch me in LA in a couple of weeks' time at the Comedy Store. But it sure as hell need to go to hell at some point, maybe at the end of life, not today. Yuri, I look forward. I wish you all the best. I can't wait to see your future designs. Your attention to detail, your design skills, and your manufacturing skills. Considering doing this at home is just absolutely phenomenal. This is worthy of real money, of real consideration. And so, thank you for giving me your time today.
Oh, thank you. I'm humbled. Thank you for having me today.
Have a great day.